you mean why? Oh. I mean, I don't want to I want to recall. Who wants to do that armor tier list? That seems pretty fun. What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be making a tier list of all the armor sets and pieces in Terraria 1.4.4. I'm going to be basing this off a couple factors such as longevity, how easy these are to get, how good they are for mixing, how good they are for this stage of the game, and how good they are compared to these alternatives. Obviously, you know, there is some truth, objectivity in all this, but at the end of the day, it is like a bit opinion based. I'll have a link to the tier list in the description if you want to make your own, and without any further ado, let's start with the wooden armors. I think wooden and boreal armor get a bit of a pass because they're like kind of easy to get. Ashwood, ebonwood, birch mahogany, and what is this? Shadewood. You have to stand still in the Crimson, Corruption, Jungle, and Underworld. How do you even get to the Underworld at this point for it to be useful? Like, there's just so much risk for no reason. You can just walk through these and be fine. Now for the ore armors. Copper, Y. Tin, Y. Lead, or iron, Y. Lead, Y. Silver, I think it's still Y. I think tungsten is okay. It's like 15 defense, it's pretty easy to get. Plat is solid, and gold's like the best option sometimes, but even then, it's worse than jungle armor. Cactus armor. Honestly, cactus armor is like way better than all the wooden armors. The knockback you get from the thorns set bonus is so good at saving you sometimes, especially against like bats. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to box myself in because I'm just like the knockback just saves me after I'm really slow to do it. So it is probably S. I probably like it's virtually no cost. You just walk through your desert to get it. Like there's no downside to getting it. Pumpkin armor. I mean, you have to be in like the Halloween event to get this, or just buy it. But then it's not useful. Like it gives you 10% more damage, I think. But it doesn't matter at the stage really. You're just trying to get something that will help you survive. The raincoat. No. The snow coat. Doesn't this gives you like immunity to chill, doesn't it? So like theoretically, it's useful in the snow biome. But are you really gonna farm it? No. The pink one gets like a slight pass because it's pink. I like the color pink. It's pretty. Gladiator armor. This gives you like what, 16, 15 defense. It's not like a bad amount of defense, but you either have to be so lucky or so dumb to get this in your run. Probably a bit of both. If you get it, like, I mean, well, none of these are like none of these will hurt you if you get them. I don't know. It's such a waste of time. Yeah, F. Fossil armor. I think the fossil armor is like it's an average armor set. You'll get value out of it. I get it in like all of my playthroughs just because for me it's like, it's a part of the ranged experience, you know? It's just something I do every time. Jungle armor. Honestly, S. Funnily enough, I think Mage gets the least value out of this armor compared to other classes. Because Mage does have better options. But this is like such easy defense. And for Summoner, it has the highest defense with the, what is it? The Flinx Fur coat. It's so easy to get. You just get it with jungle materials. You literally just get it by existing. Compared to like Platinum armor, where sometimes, like you usually have to go out of your way a bit. This, if you spend enough time in the jungle, which I usually do, because that's how I prefer to get life crystals, harvest dudes, you know, you move around the fastest there. I think it's just the best way to progress early hard mode, or early pre-hard mode. Like, you just get this for free half the time. The Gi. I mean, this is pretty good if you get it. It gives you, like, 5% more damage and crit chance. You can mix this with most sets. It's a pretty good success. So, like, if you get it, there's no reason not to buy it. Oh, the gem robes. I think these are all D. Like, they're usable. But why? They don't give you more damage. They're hard to get. The amber one's probably the easiest high tier one. There's no point in using any other one. They just give you mana reduction and mana. The only form of damage they could give you is from activating the Wizard Hat set bonus. Like, the Mystic Robe here is leagues better. This is S, I think. I mean, you can get it before any boss in pre-hard mode and get value out of it still in hard mode. It gives you like 12% more damage. So if you're mixing, like, this is good for that. It's better than the Adamantite chestplate. Is it A? I don't know. It's not like necessary in hard mode, but it gives you more damage. So honestly, yeah. I don't think you can ask for more out of a single armor piece than to be able to get it before a boss and use it up until, like, Plantera. The Wizard Hat is also amazing with it. These two together give you so much damage. I don't think the Wizard Hat's S, though. It's probably like B. This is just like, I mean, I'll put it A. Because you can use it with these two, it's solid. The set bonus of the Wizard Hat, combined with the just hat itself, gives you 15% damage. The Magic Hat gives you 6% crit and damage. So it's like net 12%. It's solid. It would be better with like mixing. So if I were to do like a mage summoner hybrid, I would use this and maybe the jungle or meteor leggings with the Flink's fur coat. Speaking of which, the Flink's fur coat is I think it's A. It's like a massive power upgrade. It gets replaced like this at the same rate as these armors, but it's such a massive step up. Like, you don't even need false armor. For summoner, you kind of need the Flink's fur coat, so I think it's A. It's not like amazing exactly, but like, it's a massive upgrade because you have nothing. You are nothing without this. Ninja armor. I think C is fair. It's like solid. You can use it. It's just a lot of damage. Not even a lot, just more damage. The shadow armor is just like better than it though, and it's also mediocre. The movement speed is good. It can allow you to take off the Shield of Cthulhu sometimes, but like, you're in pre-hard mode. What accessories are you putting in? What could possibly warrant you losing both damage, defense, and the best accessory in the game, probably. At least the best pre-hard mode accessory. Like, I just don't see much point in this. The most practical use is for just the bridge between Eater of Worlds and Scoutron for ranged. Everyone else has such strong, powerful options after Eater of Worlds. The Crimson Armor's in like the same spot. Like, just use it if you're ranged. That's it. That's the only time I think it's ever worth using. Like, you can get value out of them, and that's why they're here. I just don't think they're, like, necessary. Molten, I think it's also here. It's better than Shadow Armor, obviously, but, like, it's still nothing absurd. Same with Necro Armor. It's just damage stats. Bit of ammo restoration if you're into that type of thing. Reserving your silver bullets. Meteorite Armor. It's better than Jungle Armor, but it's locked behind, like, 2 bosses. So how high can I put this realistically? If I want damage, I'll just use the Mystic Robe and Wizard Hat. And I can get those before a boss, and it's not, like, that hard to get them. I think I'll honestly put this C. It doesn't have, like, it just has neither of the good parts of these. It's like a weird middle ground. It doesn't really have the niche that these two have. Obsidian Armor. I think Obsidian Armor is S. I think you can get value with this in hard mode, honestly. Okay, so getting into hard mode as Summoner, I think you have like 4 high mobility summons available after the Spider Staff. The Optic Staff, the Sanguine Staff. I mean, Tempest Staff isn't high mobility, but like it's decently accurate. You know, it can take on bosses. And the Blade Staff. And I think for all of them but the twins, you should use the Spider Staff, Firecracker, and Obsidian Armor. I don't really see any way in which relying on the Spider Armor would possibly be better for those, because you can only have 3 minions hitting at a time anyway, and they can so rarely reach those bosses. Twins, sure, you can just like connect them, because the twins are slow and easy and stupid, but the other ones are actually fast and hard. B Armor, on the other hand, is just like, it's like a side grade. I use this when I'm like building a hell bridge maybe, and I just don't want to use my whip. I think it's alright. Like, if I were to do some sort of hybrid build maybe, with, again, maybe like mage, I'd probably do the wizard hat, mystic rope, and bee leggings. Now into hard mode. Pearlwood armor. I feel like this has to be a joke. It's so, like, for some reason they buffed the Pearlwood sword actually, but none of the other items. It's just so bad. What's the point? Cobalt. I think Cobalt's probably the only F tier hard mode armor. Like, why would you get Cobalt? There's just no reason to. Palladium, on the other hand, easy S tier. The regeneration gets so much value against bosses and just like casual use where you don't like really need the damage that much. It's just, it's so easy to get to. It takes like 162 palladium. You don't need the mithril anvil. You don't need a palladium pickaxe. You don't need anything. You just get this armor. This is one of the first things I get in hard mode. It is extremely powerful. Mithril. It has decent mixing capabilities because the leggings give you like 10% crit chance. And that's pretty good. That's higher than most options. I think that's higher than even like the Shroomite leggings, for example. So you can get a good bit of value out of these. I'm pretty sure the melee set is also, the set specifically is also decently good. But I wouldn't really recommend that exactly. Or Calicum, it's not really great. The thing this is best at is just tricking you into thinking your weapon can kill Destroyer, when it cannot. If your weapon can kill Destroyer, Adamantite will be 10 times better. If your weapon can't kill Destroyer, get a weapon that can. Like, this just is just not good. I think the best part about this is actually the leggings that give like 8% flat classless damage, which makes it okay. I repeat, very okay in hybrid builds. Adamantite. I think this is this B? I mean, I think this is pretty middle of the road armor. The Adamantite mask, the ranged one, is absurdly good. That I think it gives like better damage boost than the Vortex helmet somehow. You can literally use it up until Moonlord in like mixed builds. It's so strong. In fact, I think I'll put a B just for that. It is also just solid for every other class. Good damage, just, yeah. All around solid. Titanium, a bit more niche. It's gotten nerfed a lot, so you can't use it for face tanking as well. I honestly think that the best use for it is against Fishron, because you can kind of bash him consistently and get value out of the shards. But even then, mixed builds, especially hybrid builds, can be just as good, if not better. So this is just super niche nowadays. I don't know why they really gutted this, considering face taking is still very prominent in this game. Forbidden armor, I think it's B. I think the chest plate is extremely strong for mixed sets, and also like the set as a whole is strong. But if you're doing that, I'd honestly recommend using like the Adamantite or Titanium headgear over the Forbidden one. But overall, these are really strong, especially for mixing. The treads and robes give higher damage boost than the spider armor, I think. And an extra minion slot. Frost armor. It's not D tier, but it's like very low C. There's very little reason to use this. It has low damage stats for both classes, and like the only benefit exactly would be higher defense for ranged. I think the best thing about it is that the chest plate is the best for melee and ranged at this stage of the game, so if you're mixing, which is pretty strong, you do typically use this. But like you can go without it a lot of the time. Crystal Assassin. It's a similar thing to the Shadow Armor. You just don't have enough good accessories to really warrant taking off the armor, because Like, you can't make up the damage that you'd get with adamantite or something, or even titanium against like Fishtron and stuff. It's like taking off the Shield of Cthulhu just to put in another inferior damage accessory, it just doesn't even fill in the gap compared to adamantite. So I think this is C. Sure, classless stuff, cool, whatever, doesn't matter that much in my eyes. Spider armor. This is absurdly easy to get and pretty damn good. I don't think there's much more I need to say than that. The leggings, again, very strong for mixing. If you can't tell, I've been looking into mixing and like hybrid stuff a lot lately. I'll probably be making a video on that soon because it's pretty interesting, and I learned a lot about it just recently. Hollowed armor. I think this is pretty easily S. This is probably the best armor in the game. I mean, what could even come close? This is the S tier. I might even need to make a new tier for it. A free dodge every... I mean, it was every 30 seconds. This armor got nerfed. It's not even that noticeable. The change was that, basically the cooldown for your holy dodge activated when you got the dodge, when you got the buff, I guess. Now the cooldown starts when you use the dodge, so when you avoid the damage. It's noticeable, but like it's still probably the best armor in the game, and you can easily use it up until Moonlord. And I tend to do that. The defensive capabilities are just so strong, and the damage is also pretty good. Alright, old ones army sets. Starting with the Monk set. I know the shirt gives you like 20% more melee and summon damage, which is pretty good. I think it's better than the Shinobi one, actually, because the Shinobi one gives you melee speed instead. But the cap and leggings are just not that great. The only thing this really has going for it is the shirt. The Squire set, on the other hand, has an amazing helmet and leggings. The leggings give the same damage boost as the Monk set, but have more defense. And the helmet is just like insane. It gives you like, I think two more health per second. Yeah, it's two health per second, which is the same as Palladium for one armor piece. So you can get really high damage with this, and you can use it in all classes, and you can use it up until like Moonlord, even in combination with like the Valhalla breastplate, which we'll touch on later. So overall, yeah, this is a pretty solid A tier, I think. Huntress armor. If I remember correctly, the shirt's the only good part. I think it gives like 20% more range to summon damage. I think the leggings only give summon damage, and the headpiece gives like just very low stat buffs. But you know, chest piece is useful, especially for hybrid builds. Same with the apprentice armor, I think. Although I think it's the trousers that are good and not the robe. Same idea though. These all have like one piece that's really useful, and the rest just kind of falls flat. Chlorophyte. The Chlorophyte mask for the melee builds is really good. It's like the Hollowed mask and the Chlorophyte mask both have their niche, and they're really good in mixed builds. The armor itself, just the full set, is not that great, but like it has a bit of mixing potential, so I'll put it in C. I think the more an armor relies on mixing, the more it tends to move towards C. Turtle armor. The aforementioned face tanking builds lie in this armor. 15% damage reduction, like 70 defense, I think. Okay damage. You're not gonna die in this that easily. It just doesn't... It's not, like, as good for defense as the Hollowed armor, I think. But for just face taking, like, this is insane. You can kill Plantera pretty easily with this. There are tons of setups that have been done over the years with this, and it's only gotten buffed. Shroomite. Shroomite kind of sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck. Like, I'm gonna put it in C. But like, the damage stats are pretty low. The set bonus is kind of useless. I'm pretty sure that the helmets don't boost the ammo type, which means that for something like the rockets, the adamantite mask is actually better. A lot of the time you can use it in like mixed sets, and it's just better than the full set, especially for rockets. One thing to note is that the damage boosts do stack multiplicatively though, so it's not like a flat damage increase. So the adamantite mask isn't always better, but like a decent amount of time it is, I think, if I recall. Spectre armor, yes. I don't need to, like, you just can't die. These three armors, you just can't die. And this one has like absurd damage. You can switch between them. You put both armor masks in like your vanity slot, you right click it, and you just do absurd damage, or you don't die. It is broken. It is probably the second best armor in the game. Tiki armor. Honestly, I think it's B. I think I was a bit harsh on it in my summoner video. Like, it's got decent damage stats, decent defense. It's worse than spooky armor in a lot of ways. It's very hard to optimize it to be better than spooky armor, but I still think it's strong. Speaking of spooky armor, B or A? I think B. It's pretty strong. Good mixing capabilities, good hybrid capabilities. Summoner just also gets better at this stage, although I'm not factoring it in. I'm more factoring up like the power boost that this armor gives you compared to other sets. So overall, I just think it's B. It's a good set. Very good set. Beetle armor. The shell specifically is like very close to S. You get like a 45% damage reduction every 9 seconds. You are unkillable. Is it S? No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's S. It fits in here with these. If I'm gonna put the Mystic Robe and like fucking Cactus Armor in here, the Beetle Armor belongs here. Beetle Armor is absurd. Alright, more Old One's Army. Shinobi Infiltrator set. If I recall correctly, again, the mask is like the only good part of this, but I think it's really good. I think it gives you like 25% more melee and summon damage. So that's pretty nice. Especially because there aren't like a ton of super strong melee helmets available right now. Like your other options are what? The Chlorophyte mask? No. So it's better. It's really good for hybrid. The Valhalla Knight. I think it's the same thing as the Squires. It has two really useful pieces. The leggings are great for melee, and the breastplate is just great for every class because the regeneration is just insane. I think it's 4 regeneration per second. Again, I'm gonna check this. Yeah, it's 4 health per second. All right. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still insanely powerful, especially if you use them together. That's just like a stupid amount of regeneration. Red Riding Armor. Again, I think the chest plate is the only useful, like, really strong part. You can use other parts, of course, but this is good for not only ranged builds, but especially hybrid builds, which are really powerful. Dark Artist set. I don't remember if there's anything super standout about this. I think the robes are pretty good. The leggings are pretty good. 20% increased summon damage, 25% increased magic critical strike chance. That's pretty damn good. Again, though, just one piece that's good. And, like, it's not good for mage, because you should just be using the Spectre armor. It's decent for hybrid, though. Which, I think it's probably the worst Old One's Army armor in general. Maybe worse than, maybe a bit better than the Apprentice one. This one's not that crazy. Alright, onto the Endgame armors. Solar. A or B? A or B? It's so hard to rate Endgame stuff, because, like, what are you doing at this point? You don't need it for anything. You've already beat the game. But, like, it's a pretty big step. I mean, yeah, it's like a step up from Beetle Armor. And the regeneration, I think all of it together is like 9 regeneration per second. It's really strong. Vortex Armor. I think this is also B. I don't think it's like absurdly strong. Doubling your damage is pretty damn good, but like it's nothing to write home about. Like these are broken. This is just like, yeah, this is an endgame armor. Nebula is really fucking good. The set bonus, dude. You can get like what? 6 health per second, 45% damage increase, like 45 mana per second, I think. That seems kind of wrong. Yeah, like it's so good. And the damage stats alone are also really good. It kind of has like no mixing potential. The Vortex and Nebula have very bad mixing. Not bad, but like their stats are so evenly spread out across their armor. Like I said, the Adamantite mask has better stats than the Vortex helmet, which is just absurd for something you get just like right out of hard mode. Stardust, mediocre. This thankfully does have good mixing potential for like hybrid stuff because the helmet kind of sucks, so you can take that off for a lot of things like the Shinobi one. This was my favorite. I like doing the Shinobi Infiltrator mask or the Solar armor because they both give really high damage, especially considering, you know, Zenith exists, and that's a pretty nice secondary weapon. Overall, I think mixing is like a very big part of a lot of these armor sets. If I didn't factor in mixing, a lot of armor sets like Frost Armor, Mithril, Chlorophyte, these would be all like D. But thankfully mixing does exist, and it's pretty powerful. Not as powerful as Hollowed Armor, but it's pretty damn nice. Is there anything here that I would change? I think the biggest thing I'm questioning is moving Crystal Assassin up. Because sometimes it's like, I mean, it's not really easier to get. No, you have to fight a boss. What am I saying? I think that's just me, like, preferring fighting a boss to spending a bunch of time mining. Although I don't even like the Queen Slime. It's just kind of annoying. Maybe Monk's that goes up. You can actually get a lot of the value out of the Monk shirt for a while. Because it's better than Shinobi's one. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Let me know if there are any more questions, because I'd love to talk about it. Maybe even make videos about specific armor sets in the future. That was really fun about the Palladium. Probably do one for a couple of these, because, you know, I like the short videos. But yeah, with that being said, links in the description with the tier list. Make sure to subscribe for future content, and like and comment with your thoughts. I will see you guys in the next one, and I appreciate you all for the support, because this has been really rapid growth lately. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Dude, oh my god, I got a comment. I got a comment on my Palladium video saying that it's worse than like Adamantite and Titanium because of movement speed. Like, okay, defense, fine. Damage, fine. Movement speed is the most useless stat in the game. Like, just use a dash. Just use a grappling hook. Just don't change directions every 20 seconds. But yeah. It was just, oh my god. Yeah, to me, like, I was thinking for a while, maybe I am just a casual of this game. Maybe I shouldn't be making these advanced summoner guides. And then I saw that shit, and all faith in myself was restored. Oh.